This is The Voice. I'm Carson Daly, and after 2 weeks of incredible battles, only 8 artists remain on each team, and they have to pass one more crucial test in order to make it to next week's live playoffs. Welcome to the knockout round.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of Geekcast Radio. We are continuing our coverage of The Voice Season 4. I am one of your hosts, TFG1Mike, and joining me is OptimusSolo. Hello.
I am here.
You are here. And we are going to be talking about the last 2 weeks of The Voice, which includes the knockouts and the live playoffs.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Where are we starting, sir?
Well, we have to go in order. The last episode we did of one of these, we talked about the battles, so we have to go to the very next round. We can't just skip around stuff.
No, I just meant with who, with what team, or what knockout are we
starting? Yeah, we're just going to go in order from the post that I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just easier that way. So, with the knockouts, night 1, and of course, as soon as I click on the window, it does the wrong thing. Lovely.
Well, it started with Team Adam.
Yes, starting with... Well, I went to click off of where something was to get to that page, and somehow the mouse clicked on one of the pictures. Anyway, behind the scenes here at Geekcast Radio. All right, so starting with Team Adam, we had a knockout between Amber Carrington versus Midas Fail. And they failed.
Wow.
Thank God. I just want to say, all of our predictions from the battles, none of them pretty much came true.
There were some weird pairings.
Yeah, as far as the pairings go, we mentioned last time when we did the battles episode at the end of it where we predicted what the pairings might be. Almost none of them that we predicted came true. So you've got Amber versus Midas Whale. Amber sang...
I'm with you.
I'm with you from Avril Lavigne, and Midas Fail sang it's not the Chili Peppers version, is it? That's not one. It's not Elvis. Who originally did Higher Ground?
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I have to look it up. But yeah,
I'm with you fit Amber perfectly.
Yeah, it did. It very much did. Higher Ground, the version that they were doing of it did not fit them at all.
No.
Just didn't. Like, I could see if they were doing it in the style of the Chili Peppers version, but I didn't even recognize... I barely recognized the song at all. And that's pretty damn bad. If you can't recognize the song, Higher Ground was originally done by Stevie Wonder. Now, I have only heard the Red Hot Chili Peppers version of this song, so hearing the Stevie Wonder version, it was too damn strange for me.
Yeah, this one...
White.
I understand a lot of people like Midas Whale, and it's kind of that certain vibe that the more... I don't know, I don't want to call them music snobs because I don't want to completely stereotype them, but there is that group that hates everything that's mainstream, hates anything that's top 40, anything that's on the radio, and they will tend to like this type of group that Midas Whale is more because they find it more artistic and original and this, that, and the other, which, yeah, they do have that quality to them, but as far as singing goes, Amber Carrington blew them away in this round.
Oh, yes, she did.
So yeah, I was very happy that she won, and Adam made the right decision.
Yes. Coming up next for Team Adam, something you'll be happy about but sad about later.
This is was Amy Whitcomb in your top 12?
Yes.
Okay, so it was you and I against each other for one of the first times that's happened.
Yes.
Usually we're battling just random people, but yeah, Amy Whitcomb and Caroline Glazer, House of the Rising Sun for Amy Whitcomb, and Little Talks by Caroline Glazer, which I don't think I'd ever heard that song before.
I heard it, I think it was last year. Three Little Talks, Icelandic indie folk group of Monsters and Men. I
think I have heard it, but I'm not real familiar with it compared to House of the Rising Sun, which is honestly one of my favorite songs of all time. Yeah. And I thought Amy Whitcomb did a great job with that. I was kind of sad to see that Adam paired these two together. Because even though I didn't pick Amy on my 12, I did like her and would have liked to see her go on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, I was happy that Caroline won, but I was kind of wishing that both of them could have won.
Yeah. Yeah. I Little Talks is not a song. Like I said, I've heard it before on The Voice. I've heard other. It might have been like one of those, like last year, one of the blind auditions that didn't make it, or it might have been one of the artists I didn't care for last year. Oh, I think Little Bowtie Bitch from last year that I don't like, Martinez. I think she sang it at one point last year. Um, I just don't care for the song. Caroline did fine. I liked her singing. I don't have any connection to that song whatsoever. I thought Amy was better overall. Sadly, that didn't happen. All right, next up for Team Adam, we had knockout between Judith Hill versus Orlando Dixon. Judith Hill's song choice, or well, the song that was she did performed was "Always on My Mind," and Orlando's was Casey and JoJo's "All My Life." Okay, first of all,
Can
let's
I
start.
make a confession?
Yeah,
Casey and JoJo. Um, okay, they had All My Life, and they had.
don't rush. Take love slowly.
No, I'm thinking of a different one.
Crazy.
Crazy?
There was a song called "Crazy" by them.
Well, I think All My Life. Okay, I think All My Life was by Casey and JoJo.
Was
Myself and one of my best friends all through high school and college. That was literally the first song that either one of us sang at a karaoke. It wasn't really a bar; it was a party, a work party, and we got up and sang that on karaoke. I don't know why. We were only like 16 or something. But he murdered that song in a bad way.
Yeah, I was. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Um, when was that? 98, 99, somewhere around there.
It was
It
yeah,
was
it was my. I started working at Target at 1998, and it was that first Christmas party, so it was 98, 99.
right. It's one of those things where it just. All right. Oh my life summer cover track was produced and written by Joel. I'm looking for the date here. The actual. Yeah, released March 17th, 1998. This was my junior prom song in high school. And the song was just so damn awesome. But what the hell did Orlando do? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
I love this song, and it should be something that he could have sang, but he sure couldn't.
he tried to rock it up and do something with his voice that he hadn't done before, and it just didn't. Oh God, no! But Judith, on the other hand, she was amazing. She,
I'm pretty sure paired this matchup because he knew Judith was going to win whatever matchup she was going to be in. So I think Orlando Dixon was just like a sacrificial lamb.
yeah,
Judith Hill is an amazing singer. She's got a lot of talent. I'm still not. She hasn't grown on me yet. I'm not a super big fan of hers yet, even though I admit that she has mad talent. But he stood no chance in this.
no chance at all. And then for the final knockout for Adam's team, you had Warren Stone versus Sarah Simmons.
Yeah, I put two of my people against each other.
Wait, no, Sarah's mine.
Oh, okay. I was going to pick her because I like her too.
Right. Warren's song was "I Just Died in Your Arms." Sarah's was "Wild Horses." Let me start with Warren's and just say, a country guy like him, who sounds like so cliche mainstream country, should not be performing an '80s pop song whatsoever.
Yeah.
He just like Orlando murdered All My Life. I'm sorry, Warren sucked with. He did just die in his own
Well, that
arms.
was a bad song that they gave him, and should have given him something country, and he should have been going against Midas Whale anyway. I was sad to see.
So you would have put Amber up against Sarah?
I would have just to see, because eventually one of them's. Actually, I don't even know if I would have done that. I probably would have put. Oh, I don't know. It's tough because I wouldn't have faced Amy against Caroline either.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done with his grouping. I was sad to see Warren go, but I think Warren peaked early.
Yeah, he
and
did.
it kind of went downhill from there. Whereas a couple other people outshined him later on. One of them we'll talk about later. But Sarah's got a great voice, and Wild Horses fit her perfectly.
Yeah, it did. It was so
And I
awesome.
like her, and Adam likes her, and she is one of the better vocalists here. So I was not surprised at all that she beat him. I just was confused by the pairing.
Yeah, yeah. Now I should say I should have mentioned this at the beginning. We're gonna do it. I wrote up my posts the way that the show did the performances. So night one is Adam versus Shakira, and then night two will be Blake versus Usher. So moving over to Team Shakira, you had the first knockout between Garrett Gardner and Tanya Reynolds. Garrett's song choice or chosen for him was Too Close. Tanya's was Hell on Heels.
I think that was a horrible choice for her.
Really?
I don't know. What I hate in all of these competition shows,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, is when you have a country artist, and I'm talking about, whether it be the X Factor, American Idol, or The Voice. When you get that country singer, I don't like it when, especially they do it with the female country singers mostly. They
Mm-hmm.
try to give them a more rowdy, rocky, fast-paced country song.
Yeah.
And I just think I think those songs work when a country singer is already well known. They work at a country singer's concert. They even work sometimes in music videos. But
Mm-hmm.
for that to be what we're judging someone on, I just don't think it ever does a good job of showing someone's talent. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
do think she
guess.
did good with it, but I
Yeah.
just think it's an unfortunate thing to do when all you get to do is judge someone on one song. To give them an up-tempo, kind of, like it says, Hell on Heels type of country song, I think
Hmm.
it's kind of a bad choice.
Yeah.
This was two
Yeah.
of your guys going against each other.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad the other one won out. Um, well, the thing is that with Garrett, like his voice has such like I said last year in a couple of my season three posts about Melanie. Melanie's voice was too unique. Season two, what's her name? What was her stupid name? Erin, not. I think it was Aaron Martin, not the one on Blake's team. The other one, the black chick from season two or whatever. Her voice was too unique. Garrett's voice is unique, but it's not like he can do hard rock or he can do soft rock, depending on what song it is. And I think with him, and this is probably the first time out of any of the performances that I've heard of this song, of the Alex Clare song "Too Close," that I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think
He's
if anyone out of all the people this year in The Voice, I think so far the they've done the best job of choosing songs for him.
yeah,
He, I still think he is not the type of singer that can sing a wide variety of stuff. Um, I'm not convinced as to how eclectic he could be with different genres and different styles of music, but you don't have to be. But they've done a perfect job of finding songs that tailor to his voice, and
yeah.
I think he's made the most of his opportunities so far.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that much later in this episode. The next knockout was between Chris Thomas and Mary Miranda. Chris's song was, hold on, wait, let me get the info out first. Chris's song was "What a Wonderful World," and Mary's song was "Every Breath You Take." Okay, go.
I I was mad at this matchup. Okay, for the following reason. I realized that Karina Iglesias is also. I never included her in the trio of Latin
Latinos.
artists.
Yeah.
We had Monique, and we had Mary, and we had the bitch that
Katya.
won't be mentioned by me. I kind of just wish that this matchup wouldn't happen because out of the three, even though I picked Monique on my team originally, I kind of liked Mary best out of the three,
Mhm.
only because she showed a lot more class than Katya did when they went up
Oh,
against each other,
yeah.
and she kind of was growing on me, but put her up against Chris Thomas, I was just sad because I knew that meant she was going to be going home. And I was happy. Obviously, Chris is on my team. I wanted him to go on, and what a wonderful world. What was an interesting choice for him, but a choice that worked.
Oh yeah.
It was just weird. She did a good job with Every Breath You Take, but
I disagree.
well, I mean, for what I mean by that is, first of all, you had Police and Sting do that song. All right.
Right.
And then you had Puff, whatever you want to call his name now.
Yeah.
Okay, do that song. And everybody relates to one of those versions because both of them were very good for what they were. And both of them appealed to different audiences. But both of those songs are so ingrained in everybody's heads, one version or the other, to have a Latin female wannabe pop star try to take that on, like, I think she stood no chance no matter what she did. So when I say she did as good as she could, I don't think there was any way for her to make that a good song.
Yeah. Okay. I agree in that instance because I'm sorry, she did not. I don't think she sung that song well.
I don't think there was any way for a female
song. Yeah, like you said, there's no way for her to do it because the thing is, in the rehearsal stuff, Shakira said it was the Police version.
Right.
So we were like other people have covered that song and have sounded amazing. The problem with most of the Latin ones that are in this season, Mary, what's her name, Monique. The problem with at least two of them, Mary and the other bitch, is that they started out singing in Spanish for the most part. And that's fine. That's great. Having, going multilingual is, that's part of a Latin artist's, growth. But again, it could have been a better song choice on Shakira's part.
Right.
Because, like you said, I mean, what didn't it? No, not at all. All right, so the next battle on Team Shakira was Karina Iglesias, in relation to Julio, and or whatever his name is, and Monique. Karina's song was "Are You Gonna Go My Way?" Monique's was "The Power of Love." Okay, let me start this one. Oh my God! The only person so far that should ever sing "Are You Gonna Go My Way" is the fucking guy that created the fucking song, Lenny Kravitz. Every time I've heard someone from The Voice sing this song, I have just cringed. I didn't like it when Jamar Rogers did it in season 2. I didn't like it when Karina did it here. Somebody else in the blinds last year performed. It's not a song that needs to be covered at all because Lenny does it so well. And Karina just, ugh. It's like strangling a cat. Okay.
How do you really feel? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know about these two. I've started kind of liking Monique. I do like Karina sometimes, but I don't know. I just think Monique did a better job on this one.
She did. She did. She almost sounded like a Celine Dion double.
Yeah, The Power of Love, I think it fit her kind of way more than Are You Gonna Go My Way, fit Karina. So I was sad that Monique lost this one. I think this is one of the instances where I haven't disagreed with the judges a lot so far today. I mean, in all the battles that we've talked about, I've basically agreed with their choice with the exception that I wanted Amy and Caroline both to win. Otherwise, I've agreed so far with every single one of the selections. Not on the song choices, but on given the song choices and the performances.
On the battle pairings,
I've agreed with who won. This is the first time that I disagreed.
Yeah. And the final one was Shauna P. versus Sasha Allen.
This is a battle.
Yeah, Sasha's song was At Last, and Shauna's was Maybe I'm Amazed. I agree with Adam, though. Or, not Adam, I'm sorry, Shakira. In the fact that Shauna's been out there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
not saying that she hasn't had her shot or whatever else. Sure, she might not be like mainstream on the radio, but after this exposure, I'm sure she'll, and especially with getting to know these artists and in the coaches, I'm sure all of these coaches, no matter who it is, whether it's Adam and Blake or Shakira and Usher or even Christina and CeeLo, they will always help the artists that are on their team. That's part of the being a part of the Voice family. And I agree that Sasha won the battle. I think Shauna did an amazing job.
Yeah, I think they both did a great job, but that
Yeah.
at last was perfect for Sasha.
Oh yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, as soon as she opened her mouth, it was like, "I'm sorry, Shauna, I love you, but
That's
you
a
have
hard
no
song
chance."
to not do well, and then when you pair it with somebody that's perfect for it,
Mhm.
like or Shauna was fighting a losing battle. I don't think it was going to matter really how good she did, and she did do a good job. But once
Yeah.
again, I agree with the coach's decision on this one.
Yeah. And on to night 2, we had Blake versus Usher's team. Oh boy, here we go. The first knockout was between Savannah Berry and Justin Rivers. On Team Blake, Savannah's song was As Long as You Love Me. Justin's song was The Climb. Okay, first, hold on to your age. I'm sorry, a country artist should not be singing fucking Justin Bitchper songs.
Neither one of these people should have been singing these songs. Honestly.
Yeah.
If I was Justin Rivers, if I am a male wannabe country star, and I'm on The Voice, and I'm finally getting a chance to sing in front of millions of people, and you give me The fucking Climb, I
Well,
don't
he
care
did
how
say
good a
something
song
about
that
it.
is and how many people love that song, and it is a pretty song, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, are you kidding me? What do you want me to, like, cut off my balls first?
Well, he did say that it did have an emotional attachment to him. I don't know how, but
Okay, this is my problem and why I was giving a big sigh, because I thought Blake had a freaking strong as hell team. Okay,
yes.
I liked a lot of people on his team, and I could not disagree more with how he paired people in this day. All right.
Well, with one exception, I hope. And we'll get to that here in a second,
Well,
but go ahead.
I mean, I clearly would have gone into this having. I thought he had four front runner kind of favorite type artists, and that would
Mhm.
have been Savannah, Holly, Danielle, and Taylor, his four girls. And
Mhm.
we didn't mention, but Adam came out of this round with he ends up kind of with a team that's full of powerhouse girls.
Right.
All right. I think Blake could have had basically the same dynamic going on, and I would have paired each one of those girls against a guy, even though it seems weird and it seems more logical to pair the girls against the girls. But I would have done all the girls against the guys and one of them against Grace, because that would have given them each a chance to move on.
Mhm.
Now he did it with Savannah against Justin, and he does it with Holly against Luke, which is fine.
He also does it with Grace versus the
Well,
Swan
no,
Brothers.
see, Grace, I'm not counting in this. I would have paired
Okay.
Grace against one of these other girls, whether it be Holly, Savannah, Taylor, or Danielle, and then I would have paired a girl against the Swan Brothers. Um, I don't know. I just didn't like it because it set up bad matchups for me. Um, I do think Justin Rivers is like what I said with Warren Stone, how he kind of peaked early and fell off. I think Justin Rivers kind of came under the radar and then peaked a little bit later.
Yeah, he didn't peak until the live shows. We'll
Right.
get to that
And,
later.
I can understand this a little bit. I kind of wanted Savannah to win, but this was just bad song choices for both people, in my opinion.
Yeah. So the next knockout on Team Blank was between Holly Tucker and Luke Edgman. Holly's song was "Live Like You Were Dying" by Tim McGraw, and oh my God, Luke's song was Katy Perry's "Teenage Dream." How many fucking times are we gonna have to hear that fucking song in one fucking season of this fucking show?
You
Oh
say
my
fucking a few
God.
more times?
Yes, I will actually. We heard it in the blinds by someone who didn't even get chosen. We heard it another time. I think we've heard it like 4 times so far, up to the point of the knockouts. I'm so sick of that damn song.
I think this again, I don't know what Blake's doing with these song choices. Um, I don't get the connection of having Holly Tucker sing "Live Like You Were Dying." Um, first of all, I don't know. To me, that's a song that can never work when a female sings it.
I thought she did a damn good job with it, though.
No, I mean, I'm not saying she does bad. I'm not saying the people are doing bad
Yeah.
or not doing bad. I'm just saying, for me, song choice wise, and then what song they're choosing to let these
Mm.
people sing, like that is Tim McGraw literally singing a song where it's a guy basically telling about his father and kind of how he losing his father, and then how it's teaching him to kind of like obviously live like you were dying type thing, and then to have a younger female sing it, to me it loses all effect. Um, so I don't agree with either of the song choices again, but I do agree that Holly wins.
Yeah, she was just amazing with that. Um, and the next battle was between.
I knew this was gonna fucking happen.
The
I would have rather him put Taylor against Savannah.
next battle is Danielle Bradbury versus Taylor Beckham. Danielle's song was Jesus Take the Wheel. Taylor's song was Russian Roulette. I actually had to look up Russian Roulette. It's a Rihanna song.
Yeah, that wasn't nice to give her that song.
Good
It's really
lord.
not nice to pair anybody with Danielle Bradbury, because she just is slaughtering people left and right.
yeah. Her rendition of Jesus Take the Wheel was
It's
amazing.
ridiculous to think that this girl has only sang in front of anyone like a couple times. She has
Yeah.
a stage presence and a confidence and a professional sound to her voice that you can't imagine that she's literally only saying like this is her first time singing in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you freaking kidding me? This is the Carrie Underwood of the voice, really. I'm not. I know that seems ridiculous to say, but you know what Kelly Clarkson or Carrie Underwood was for American Idol?
Yeah.
That is what Danielle Bradbury is going to be. She is going to be a superstar.
Yes, she is. All right, and Blake's final knockout pairing was between Grace Askew and the Swan
Can we
Brothers.
send these both home? I will
No,
say
no, hold on. Grace's song choice was "I Can't Stand the Rain." The Swan Brothers' song was "Drift Away."
what Grace, her Achilles heel,
Mm-hmm.
she does too much.
Yeah.
She tries to do too many weird little changes and things, and it's like Blake, I think, even said about her, if I'm remembering right, that like every performance of hers is different. Like every rehearsal is different from the performance, is different than this, and you never know what you're going to get because she's constantly just going with the flow. And I
Yeah.
think that kind of comes back to bite her a little bit here. Um, actually couldn't have picked a better song for the Swan Brothers
Oh yeah, that was.
because Drift Away is impossible to fuck up. It literally,
Amazing.
it's like singing an Uncle Kracker song or something like a John Mayer song. It's impossible not to make those sound okay because there's really not a lot of vocal. Like John Mayer can't probably even sing a damn scale. Um, I'm going off on a tangent though. But anyways, but Drift Away is just it's a great song, but it's really hard to fuck up. So they were kind of given handed it on a silver platter on this one.
Now let me ask you this, and this will come up later too once we get to lives, but the live playoffs. Do you think that Blake is pushing them through just to say
Yeah.
he could have a duo at whatever level that they get
He
to?
likes them for reasons I don't understand. So it has to
Well,
be
they're
something.
they're both Okie people apparently,
Yeah, but
so
it just has to be something because I think he put them against Grace, knowing that Grace was kind of maybe, I don't mean to be mean, but I think Grace was his worst person.
mhm.
Um, and so he kind of gave him a good matchup that wise, and then he gave him a easy song. I don't think they necessarily win if they go against some of these other people. Um, so I do think he's a big fan of theirs. And I don't know. I just look at the 8 people that he had, and it's hard for me to say that the best 4 made it past this round. I can say maybe 2 of the best made it, but I can't give them 3 and 4.
Well, we'll get to that here in a little bit. All right, so moving on to Team Usher. His first battle pairing was Josiah Hawley versus Jess Kellner. I have to say, since we've been doing these podcast versions of the voice blogging and all that stuff, I like Jess in the beginning, but she's had some really bad song choices. Like I've been losing interest in her. Like when she first got on stage back in the blinds, I was like, oh, she sounds cool. She sounds all right, whatever. And the path that they put her on was just like, no way. So Josiah's song was Back to Black. God. Jess Kellner's song was You Give Me Something. Now, she says that she had said that You Give Me Something was about her. I think she said she was dedicating it to her mom, or I don't know. So it's had some emotional feeling for her. And I understand that, but I'm sorry. That. Ugh, no.
I hated Jess early on. I literally thought she was the worst person, and I ranked all of them when we were about to make our teams, and she was the bottom of my list.
Yeah.
But she did better than I thought she was going to do during this whole show. But yeah, Josiah kicked her ass on this.
Yeah, he kicked her ass on this, even though I don't care for the song at all.
No, I don't either.
I was never like nowadays. I know of like Adele and Lady Gaga and Katy Perry because I'm watching these shows, and of course Adele had that award-winning stupid ass theme song in Skyfall. That song sucks. I'm sorry, it does. But like back when the whole Amy Winehouse thing came out and the whole popularity of her, I never got into it.
Me neither.
At all. And it was like, oh, okay. Yay. And Josiah killed it. I mean, he did a good job with the song. I don't care for the song.
Me neither.
So the next one was a knockout between Audrey Crash versus Michelle Samuel. Audrey's song was Out of Love. Michelle's song was Raise Your Glass. Thoughts?
I wasn't a huge fan of either of these performances. Michelle better, so I was fine with her winning.
Yeah, again, okay. I understand Audrey singing. Price tag. It fit into her background. I get that. That was a good song choice for her. How to Love by Lil Wayne?
That was just bizarre.
Like, seriously?
It was a horrible song.
Really? And then Raise Your Glass is by Pink. So that did kind of fit Michelle. And I think Michelle did a damn good job with that. So, all right. Next one on Team Usher was C. Perkins versus Vito. C. Perkins' song was She Ain't You, and Vito's song was Everything I Do It For You.
Yeah, so first of all, C. Perkins choked a little.
Yes, he did, a lot.
On this one, and you match that up with Vito having the emotional story, and and then just having a song that somehow, I mean, that is a hard song to sing. Like, yes, people don't mention this as much, but when in these competition shows, people are always saying to the women, you don't try to sing Whitney Houston. You don't try to sing Mariah Carey. You don't try to sing Celine Dion. Like, people tell contestants not to do that. Like, that's not smart. Well, people don't usually say this, but it's usually a death trap if you try to sing Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
Bryan Adams has ridiculous range, and he doesn't get credit for it enough. And he is a hard person as far as his songs go to sing, and somehow Vito pulled it off.
Yeah, Vito did. As much as I didn't like him in the earlier rounds, he really knocked it out of the park.
And C. Perkins already knew he lost before Vito even finished his song.
So yes, yeah, it's kind of like I mentioned last time. As soon as Ryan Ennis opens his mouth, boom, you're done. Same thing here with Vito with this knockout was. It's just, yeah. All right. So the next pairing, or the actual final knockout here, was Katya versus Ryan Ennis. Bitch's song was Mr. Know-It-All. Ryan's song was I Don't Want to Be. Okay, first of all, again, I know The Voice has a certain library selection that they can choose from.
Mm-hmm.
So sick of hearing the same damn songs. I've heard, I don't know how many times I've heard Kelly Clarkson's Mr. Know-It-All by every single person on The Voice in the last 2 years.
That
Every
song somehow did fit her well in her range. I will give her that much credit, and she got lucky that it did. And honestly, if you could have replayed this battle, like if they had a take two,
yeah,
Ryan probably would have won.
if he hadn't gone so
He
high.
just blew it. Like he had, I'm sure in the rehearsals and all this other stuff, he had it fine. And then when it came time, and I know what this is like. I mean, he literally just started on the wrong note, and he just absolutely couldn't recover, and it was a train wreck. Everybody, I think even Usher knew that he was the better singer, and I think Usher was shocked when this took place, and he really had no other choice but to give her the win, even though everyone knows that Ryan is a superior singer. He just fucked up.
Yeah, he went, like you said, he started off wrong. He got too high and couldn't bring it back down. And also, I think the song choice was bad.
But sometimes with songs, like literally, having very little experience, but having a little experience singing stuff, that first note and where you start it is literally the point of no return. Like,
right. No, I understand
when you hit that very first note, you have to go with that then. And it sucks when it's not the right note for you to start on.
Yeah. All right, so really quickly, before we take a break and move on to the live rounds here in this episode of GCR, what do you think of the overall process of the knockouts?
I think like I said, I only disagreed literally with like two of the judges' decisions at the most. And I can't really say I disagreed with the decision. I mean, I think Ryan should have won that had they done anything else, and had there been a redo. Like, this is literally the only way this girl could have made it through, was for someone completely fucking up. But really, there was only like one or two choices out of all of these knockouts that I disagreed with. What I more so disagreed with was the song selection. I just think some of those song selections were terrible by the judges, and a couple of the matchups I think were just not wise matchups.
I don't like. Now, when I asked you about the whole process of it, I was meaning like the production of how they did things.
Oh, I didn't mind it too much.
Well, like I get you have to have lights, camera, action, but I didn't understand, and I don't remember if this happened last year in season 3. Every time Carson said to whatever coach, coach of the wall, who is your first knockout artist?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as, before Blake even opened his mouth, or any of them even opened their mouth, some light in the background flares up, like a flash bulb flares up, and it's like, do you really need that effect? I mean, is that damn dramatic?
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of something I don't even think about, or it doesn't affect me just because I expect it from these types of shows.
Yeah, I guess. And the other
it's
thing
better than them trying to hype something up that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing I didn't quite understand is sometimes you can tell, like, when one person is singing and the other is waiting to sing, you can see the other person that isn't singing. Either they're nodding their head and singing along with the first person, or they're just shaking their head. I saw a couple of people shaking their head during performances from the secondary artists, or even you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, really? You're really going to sit there and start shaking I wish the coaches would have noticed that. But all right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will come back to talk about the live playoffs after this.
Coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan on September 21st and 22nd is GrandCon Gaming and Comics Convention, presented by Celebration Cinemas. Join us in playing or chatting it up with fellow enthusiasts in a community that understands your passions. Get lost in the adventure of your favorite role-playing game. Admire costumes and art from vendors and attendees. Meet the creators behind your favorite mainstream and independent games and comic books. check out unpublished games, and sneak peek at things to come. You can get all this and more at GrandCon. For more information, please visit www.grand-con.com.
The live playoffs!
All right, we are back, and we are here to talk about the live playoffs of The Voice Season 4. Did you have any non-competition performances that you enjoyed?
I thought Usher and Adam did all right on their song.
Superstition, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, even though I don't like that song, I thought they were fine. The teams were okay.
Yeah. I liked Black and Gold the best.
Yeah.
All right, getting down to it, starting with Team Adam, you had Amber Carrington singing Stay.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. Any other thoughts on it?
I mean, I like her. I think she's done solid every time. Hearing her do that song, I thought she had a legit chance of staying.
Nah. Nice. All right, so up next we have Sarah Simmons with Angel. Normally I don't say this, but she did a better job than McLaughlin ever did with this song.
I won't say that. I can never say anyone does anything better than Sarah McLaughlin does on a couple of her songs, but yeah, this is another one of those phenomenal songs, and she definitely did it justice, and I was 100% sure that she was safe after this.
I pity the fool. I just love it when a plan comes together. Caroline Glazer sang The A-Team.
Never heard of this song.
No, this is not the 1980s theme song. I actually had to look this up because I had no idea who it was from. And it's by Ed Sheeran, whoever the hell that guy is. I have never heard this song ever. I have no knowledge of it whatsoever. And the whole time, all as I kept thinking was, dun, dun, dun. I don't know. Thoughts?
I mean, I thought she did a good job with it. It would have been better if she did something that I had heard of. I think it's super dangerous in a competition like this to do songs that people haven't heard of, unless they're original songs that you really nail. So, I wasn't a big fan of the song choice, but I thought she did good, and I do like her stage presence and her personality and just who she is. But yeah, I thought she could be in trouble after that.
Yeah. Judith Hill sang "Feeling Good."
Now I know your thoughts on this song real quick before you go on your tangent. First of all, obviously Michael Bublé, not the original person necessarily, but he is the most famous version of this song, in my opinion.
Okay. All as I will say is that because how I go about doing the blog version of the voice coverage that we do is whatever is in the Voice Season 4 Wikipedia article for links for songs, that's where I get it from.
Yeah.
And if it says it's a song written by English singer-songwriters Anthony Newley and Leslie Brickhouse for the 1964 musical, Cy Grant first sang the song in the UK tour. And then it goes down and tells you the different versions, and I think they were using the Muse version of it.
Basically, it should have been retired after Michael Bublé put it out on his CD, though, because he does a good version of this. And every time someone does a Michael Bublé song, I cringe. He's one of my favorite artists, but people never do a good job with his songs. And I know people thought she did amazing, and people are big fans of hers. I thought she murdered and just shit on this song. She just tried to do too much with it.
Yeah.
She tried to make it too unique and do all this crazy stuff, and I just didn't like it at all.
I didn't like it at all, and like I said, there's different versions of each of these songs, whatever they may be. Obviously, you have a Katy Perry song, what's Katy Perry's song, blah, 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 blah. But like a song like this where you said, where I said it originated from something, and then you have a Nina Simone version, you have a Muse version, you have a Michael Bublé version. I specifically heard Adam say, and I heard Blake say it too, "Oh, Muse, nice getting them on this show."
Mm-hmm.
So she was singing the Muse version of this song.
I will never listen to that version then.
I am just sick of hearing this song by, like, I don't have an opinion of Michael Bublé either way. Every time I've gone to the theater in the last 3 months, I've seen his new album advertised, and he sounds great. He looks, it sounds like it's interesting music, but I've never, like, it's just one of those things where it's not on my radar.
Yeah.
And
I'll give you an album to listen to, and then you'll have to get back to me.
Right. But no, I am so sick of this song. I'm just sick of this song in general. And it's like, come on. All right, so moving on to Team Usher. You had Josiah Hawley singing Starlight. No, it is not Starlight, Star Bright.
I wasn't sure on this one how to feel after. Like, the other one, I was sure that I wanted Amber and Sarah to stay. Mm-hmm. And I thought Caroline was in trouble, but I thought Judith did terrible. But I knew people liked Judith, so I kind of had predictions there. With what Josiah did, I really couldn't tell which way it was going to go for him.
Yeah, and I didn't like. Again, this is another song by the Muse or Muse or whatever the hell. I don't know the song. I don't know that I don't know that artist, that band, whatever. And he sang well. I just didn't know the song at all.
Yeah.
It was weird.
So yeah, I wasn't sure if he was in trouble or if he was safe. And then Katya came up, and I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot she's on the team. Everyone's safe. Everyone should be safe except for her."
Okay, first of all, my note in the blog that I wrote was Devin Delora did it better. That's all I have to say.
So has every other person that sang that song.
It's like you just said. They tell you, don't do Whitney, don't do this, don't do that. And then he gives her a Whitney song.
It was terrible.
It was god awful. I think I might have to stop watching The Voice after this season, ladies and gentlemen, because I want them to go for season 5, and we'll talk about this at the very end of the show too. I want them to, of the podcast, I want them to get new songs, get different songs. I get it's a competition. It's about what's most popular today. It's about what most people are going to recognize. You got Vito singing Against All Odds. Okay, I get it. It's his story. It's, his whole thing with his mom and her being against all odds and everything else. But it's like, I've heard Against All Odds from 3 different artists at this point from this show. Season 2, Jermaine Paul did it, which I still think is the best version of a cover of this song. Season 3, Trevin did it, which I didn't care for. And Season 4, Vito did it. I liked it, but it's just one of those things where, don't you people have any other songs to choose from? Come on. I don't know. Thoughts on Vito?
I think it's hard. It was gonna be hard for him to live up to Everything I Do. But he just followed Katya. So he was going to sound good. It wasn't his best performance, but I thought it was enough to keep him safe.
Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. I loved his performance of it. I'm just sick of the show using the same songs every single. Like, they don't always use the same songs, but like there are certain songs every year that they've used since I've been watching it. It's not so much like I don't hate his performance of it. I think he did a damn good job. I just wish that it would have been something other than that song. I'm just sick of hearing that song. And to wrap up night 1 of the live playoffs, you had Michelle Shamuel singing True Colors. Wow, this might be the best cover of this ever.
Yeah, I thought there was a couple weak spots here and there, but overall I thought she was really good.
Yeah, she was damn
I thought
good.
Out of Usher's team, I thought she was obviously the standout. Mm-hmm. And then I thought Vito and Josiah would be next, kind of somewhere in the middle, and then Kathy would be like under the floor. Anyway.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just flashing to the Bugs and Daffy. Yeah. One of the Bugs and Daffy shorts where at the end of it, Daffy drinks all this stuff and then lights a match and, Bugs is like, Daffy, they love it. They want you to do it again. It's a great trick, but I can only do it once. All right, so night 2. Out of the non-competition performances we had, Team Blake singing Boondocks, we had Team Shakira singing We Are the Champions, and we had Team Blake and Shakira, or no, we had Blake and Shakira, the coaches, singing Need You Now. I liked the We Are the Champions version.
I mean, they did a good job with that version. I really kind of hate hearing that song these days. I don't know if I'm just done with We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You and Another One Bites the Dust and most of Queen's library. It just seems like we hear it a lot. But they did a good job with it. I thought Boondocks was actually really good.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome.
I thought Boondocks was really good, and I thought Need You Now was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I liked seeing Blake and Shakira sing together. I kind of were wishing that they would have done I Told You So. Which Randy Travis and Carrie Underwood did at one point. But I could watch them sing together again.
Yes. Well, I'm sure we will at some point. All right. So, starting off with Team Blake, you had Holly Tucker singing the Leanne Rimes version of How Do I Live? This song in general always confused the hell out of me because right as soon as Leanne came out with it, boom, Trisha Yearwood covered it. And it was like the war between the two country female vocalists back then. Like, which version did you like better? I like them both for different reasons. It's essentially the same song, but it's two different vocals because they're obviously two very different artists. But Holly, she kicked this out of the park. She just tore the seams off of it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job with it. Obviously, like you mentioned in your blog, it sounded a little more like Trisha Yearwood's version. And yeah, Holly's good. She's been good almost every time she sang. So
the whole time that she was singing this song, I don't know why. Maybe it was the way that they had her dressed or how they had her hair and makeup or whatever else. Certain notes, when she would look at the camera a certain way, I was like, what is Debbie Ryan doing on stage? She a little bit looked like the Disney Channel star Debbie Ryan. All right, so next up on Blake's team, the Swan Brothers, Fishing in the Dark. Okay.
I just think that was I don't know. I don't think that's a good song to give again when you're trying to showcase somebody's talent, because I don't think that gives them any chances to do anything vocally. So therefore, it's another easy song that he's given them. It just frustrates me. They do it well, yeah, but they haven't proven themselves to me as my problem.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing easy freaking songs that don't test them at all. And I don't know why he's doing that, if he knows that they can't do something more, or if he wants them to keep moving on. But I just want them to actually be tested, so then I can be like, okay, yeah, they're good. So far, I haven't been able to do that.
All right. Up next is where Justin Rivers hits his stride. Eat in the Middle. Now, first of all, I have to say, I missed that second voice because this song is by a friggin' duo, Diamond Rio.
Right.
And I don't like it when single artists sing duos. Like if you had the Swan Brothers sing this, again, it would have been an easy song choice for them, obviously. I mean, who, like you said, would Drift Away. Who can fuck up Meet in the Middle? I mean, it's a damn simple song. It's a great song, but it's a simple song. And I missed that second voice. I think Justin did it well. It was the first time that I actually took notice of him and was like, oh, he can actually sing country music.
Yeah, this was his moment right here. This was his peak. And for me, what really impressed me was how well the actual performance was, the stage presence. I mean, it literally felt like he had been... I've been to country concerts before. I have seen country stars singing on stage. And to me, he did not look like someone that was contested on a show. I know they use this phrase a lot, but it literally looked like he was at his own show. And I thought he was in his element. I thought it was perfect. I'm very confused.
We'll get to your confusion a little bit later in the podcast. Up next is Daniel Bradbury, who is singing the Pam Tillis version of Maybe It Was Memphis.
She literally has the best performance every night she sings. I'm sorry.
No,
This
you're
everybody
right.
wishes that they had her on their team
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she is freaking amazing.
yeah. She is. Yeah, absolutely. I
By
completely agree.
far the best performance out of Blake's team. Um, Holly, I probably would put second, so it was between the Swan brothers and Justin Rivers as to who was going to go home for me.
All right, moving on over to Team Shakira.
This
Oh
is what
my.
happens when you get someone who's not American as a coach. I'm not trying to
Explain.
sound mean because I love Shakira.
Explain.
I'm not trying to. I absolutely love Shakira. I was a big fan of Shakira back in the day. I have loved her so far on this, but I just don't think any coach in their right mind from America would give anybody Imagine.
All right. Well.
I realize he does a good job, sings it fine, but to me, there are certain songs. There are certain songs that are perfect in their original version and should never be touched.
Okay, now before you go into you said your piece on that, and this is a, you know, John Lennon song, but this is not the first time
Oh,
that this has been covered at all. Um, Elton John performed the song in
that's a little
1980.
different.
Okay, but no, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. What I'm saying is that other people have done this.
Yeah.
The one version I really remember is when Ed Kowalczyk was still with Live,
Yeah.
and they did a
Well,
version
I
of
don't
it.
mind real bands doing it. I don't like it on
Competition shows.
yeah, competition shows because I just think it's really hard for someone that you're not, that hasn't made a name for themselves already to
Yeah.
pull off that song and have it accepted by the public. Not, I think it's unfair because I think it's even when they do a good job, you're going to have those purist Beatle fans and John Lennon fans that are going to be like, I hate that because they
Well,
touched my, icon
yeah.
song, blah, 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 blah.
Now, do you think that it's just because it's this song,
Yes.
or do you think it's any John Lennon or Beatles
Um,
song? 'Cause they had other Beatles
no,
songs,
I just
so
think within that group and within, I mean, obviously the Beatles are they have one of the biggest fan bases of all time, even though I'm not a huge Beatles fan. Um,
right.
I don't think I think they have their certain songs that they do not accept other people singing,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to John Lennon.
Right.
And people, this song does lend itself to have a lot of different versions, and there's a lot of different things you can do with it. I just hate it when someone's doing it because I just feel like they're always going to get unfairly compared, criticized, etc., etc. But I do think again he has done a good job with everything he's been given, and the song does this version that he does fits his voice. So I wasn't upset with him. I just think it's unfair to give him that song.
Okay. I think that it it does fit his voice, but it also challenges him
Yeah,
because it challenges him not to use the rasp. He
right.
can use it in certain and see that's the challenge for him. Yes, you can give him a rock song and he can rock it out and rasp it out and people will love it. But the challenge for him is you control it. It's kind of like last year with Benji. Even though Benji didn't make it very far, Benji had on Knocking on Heaven's Door. He had that loud scream at a couple of the points
Right.
where everyone loved it. That's the thing with Garrett. You have to you have to pick songs for him to challenge him, and I think this challenged him to the point where he couldn't rely on the rasp so much. And I loved it. I thought it was great. I do agree with you. There are certain songs that just shouldn't be covered. Like I said earlier in the show, with Karina and Are You Gonna Go My Way. But yeah, I mean, there are certain classic songs that probably shouldn't be covered, but still, Garrett did a damn good job. All right. Chris Thomas, When I Was Your Man. Yeah, no.
I thought it was fine. I don't think it was his best performance, but I thought it was enough to keep him around.
Yeah, I don't know. There are certain Bruno Mars songs that sound great from other people, and then there's other. I don't know.
I liked it.
Okay. No, that's fine. All right, and Karina with "Let's Stay Together." Really? I'm surprised CeeLo didn't pop up earlier and just punch her in the neck. Oh God. No.
How do you really feel?
Just no.
Yeah, she's. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of hers.
Oh boy. And finally, for the performances of the night, for the competition performances of the night, we had Sasha Allen with "Oh Darling." Outside of Juliet Sims, this is my favorite cover version from any of the voice people doing this song.
Yeah,
I thought she did damn good with this.
she did do good. She was by far the star of this team.
Yes. All right, so those are all the performances. Who did you go online to vote for, or whose songs did you buy which counted as votes on iTunes?
I didn't do either because I never do with these shows.
Really? You don't vote?
No, but if I were to vote,
You should be on this podcast. You know, everyone says, "Oh, you didn't vote this year. You didn't vote for. You have no say."
I don't know. I just never do. If I were to vote
Okay.
for Team Adam, I literally probably would have voted for everybody except for Judith, because I really think that Sarah, Amber, and Caroline did decent. I probably would have put some sympathy votes in for Caroline. For Team Usher, I literally would have only voted for Michelle. I just don't think any of the other ones were strong enough performances.
Mm-hmm.
For Team Blake, I would have probably piled all my votes to Danielle and Justin, even though I do think that Holly did great. And then for the last one, I would have simply voted for Sasha, and that would have and maybe one vote towards Chris.
All right, I voted on the NBC website for Team Adam. I voted for Amber and Sarah. Caroline's great. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike her. It's the song.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
the
I
song.
agree.
That's all it is. It's the song. For Team Blake, I voted for the Swan Brothers, Holly and Danielle.
No love for Justin.
I'm sorry, dude. He peaked.
Yeah, and he should have got a vote.
He was great, but it just didn't. No, not at all. For Team Shakira, I voted for Garrett and Sasha, obviously, and for Usher, I voted for Michelle and Josiah. Now, it is the live playoffs results night. We had, 4 non-competition performances.
Mm-hmm.
Team Adam and Team Usher, "Don't Worry, Child." Rod Stewart and Friends, "The Finest Woman I've Ever Known," which is his new single, and "Forever Young." CeeLo returned with Juliet Sims, "Only You." And
Hall of Fame by Team Blake and Team Shakira.
yeah.
And I thought Hall of Fame was a great performance. I thought Team Blake and Team Shakira did a nice job with that. And
That was cool.
And CeeLo and Juliet was pretty intense.
Yeah. I liked Rod Stewart and Garrett and them singing "Forever Young" because that new
It was just too
song
short. The time that they actually did the duos was a little short.
Yeah. All right. So here are the results for Team Adam. America's vote: Amber Carrington, number 1. Oh, this is the first vote. I'm not saying I'm not numbering them, but you get the point. America's vote number 2: Judith Hill.
I don't get what your blog says underneath that, by the way.
Wait, what? Wait, which one?
Your blog under America's vote number 2, Judith Hill. You should read that.
Oh crap! I gotta fix
Anyway,
Anyways, all right. So hold on. And Saved by Coach.
well, it came down to Sarah Simmons and Caroline Glazer, and Adam had to pick one.
Yes, and let me say this. I said this in the blog that maybe I should have switched them and had Adam at the very last for his results because it was so hilarious. Because Adam's results were the last ones of the show. And it was so hilarious because Carson's like, "Adam, we gotta go. The next show, can't we just hold up the next show?" And he's like, "Sarah." And boom, it went off the air.
Right.
I thought that was just hilarious.
Yeah, they'd ordered to run the credits and everything.
Yeah, it was pretty much like, oh my god. Oh crap, I gotta fix this. All right, so just to recap. America's vote 1 was Amber. America's vote 2 was Judith. Saved was Sarah. Sadly eliminated was Caroline Glazer. Your thoughts?
I mean, I saw it coming. I wasn't necessarily surprised. I mean, I think Amber and Sarah had the most powerful voices on that team for that performance. Judith has a lot of potential, but I thought she did horrible that night, even though most people thought she did amazing. So I wasn't upset, but I think Caroline is on the wrong team. You know, if she would have been on a different team, I think she could have made it, but not against those three.
Yeah.
Sadly.
All right. Moving on over to Team Blake. America's vote number 1 was Holly Tucker. America's vote number 2 was Daniel Bradbury. Saved by Coach, or I should say favorited by Coach, the Swan Brothers, and eliminated was Justin Rivers.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Rivers isn't even on my team, but after that performance, he deserved to stay over the Swan Brothers. I'm sorry. I know you like the Swan Brothers, but neither of those guys stand any chance against Holly and Danielle, though.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's probably true. All right. Now.
That was the only one I was shocked on, by the way.
Oh, really?
I think so, if I remember right.
Yeah, I was a little on the edge of my seat with the next one. Team Shakira. America's vote, Sasha Allen. America's vote number 2, Chris Thomas.
Came down to Garrett and Karina.
Oh, thank God. I was going to reach through the TV and choke that bitch if she hadn't chosen Garrett.
Well, that was the only way that Garrett survived is by going against Karina. I don't think she wins if it goes against Sasha or Chris. If the people would have voted Karina in, Garrett would have been in trouble.
Yeah. So saved by Coach was Garrett and eliminated was Karina. Thank God Karina's gone.
Yeah.
And Team Ushers reveals America's vote number 1 was Vito. America's vote number 2 was Michelle. Saved by Coach was Josiah, so that means the dumb bitch is gone.
Goodbye.
Yes. Thoughts on all of the results and who will be in the top 12 coming up this coming week?
Well, I think I'm just going to break down by Coach and who has the best chance here. Team Usher, I know that people might vote for Josiah because he's the hunk kid, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it would take a miracle of Vito picking the absolute right songs and really, having that emotional touch going. But I really think Usher's only chance is Michelle to seriously be a contender for the win. But it'll be interesting to see exactly what songs are selected for Josiah and Vito. Shakira, I know you like him, but I don't think Garrett stands a snowball's chance in hell of winning this entire show. I think he's been good, and I think it's a good story, and I'm glad he came back, and he's gotten really far, and he should be proud of it, but he is on the cusp of being eliminated soon. I don't know. I think Chris Thomas and Sasha Allen are both contenders, so I think Shakira has 2 possibilities to win this whole thing. But I think with both of them, it's an uphill climb, and they really need to have the perfect songs to really showcase them compared to some of the other front runners. With Team Blake, Swan Brothers can go with the same thing that Garrett Gardner is. They won't be here for long. Holly, I think, sadly, won't make it quite as far as maybe she should. Danielle, it doesn't even take. I was saying with those other people that they need the right songs selected. I don't really think that Danielle needs the right song selected. I think she's that good that she will make it far, but I would like to see Blake do some things like he did with Cassidy, where he really gives her a song where she can have a moment that can carry her for sure. I would hate to see her eliminated for something stupid, but that is Blake's best chance of winning this whole thing. And finally, Team Adam, I think he's got 3 powerhouses. I think Amber, Judith, and Sarah can all sing their butts off. I don't know which direction he's going to go with all of them, but I think they're all, I think they're all contenders.
Yeah, I do too. I do agree that Garrett it's going to depend. It's really going to depend on song choice for him now. Like, she's, if the Swans are Blake's push through, and if Garrett is Shakira's push through, it's gonna really depend on what he sings now, because I know by now it's up to voting and all that stuff, but they didn't even Garrett. I don't even know how many votes Garrett got. Apparently he didn't get enough because she had to save him. So it's really gonna come down to popularity at this point. Honestly, it is.
Right.
And it's going to be super interesting to see what the top 12 do with the live performances. coming up. Any other thoughts on the knockouts or the knockouts or the live playoffs?
No, I mean, most of them went how I thought they would go. I was kind of sad to see Caroline go, but I understand that she was on a team that she really probably couldn't compete with. I'm just excited to see a few of them go forward. I have my favorites still, and I still have, I believe, 4 of my team members ready to go.
What do the teams look like at this point?
We each have 4 people left, I believe.
Okay.
If you break it down, I have Amber, Danielle, Chris, and Josiah. And you have Michelle, Garrett, Swan Brothers, and Sarah.
Oh no, Sarah. That's right, Sarah.
So we each have 4 people left.
Yeah, that's good.
You're in
That'll
trouble.
change after this week, obviously. So, all right. Well, that was the knockouts and the battles for The Voice Season 4 coverage here on Geekcast Radio. Join us next time when we will be talking about more musical stuff. And, of course, we will be continuing on with the film countdowns here on GCR. We will catch you next time. Unleash the geek in you.
Is this thing on? Oh, goody. Why, hello there. It's your dear old Uncle Joker here. I bet you're asking yourself, what could I be possibly doing here of all places? Well, I'm laughing at the fact that this new podcast presented by Geekcast Radio is called Legends of the Dark Knight. Who the heck knew the Bat was so popular? Ugh. Join Steve, Mike, and sometimes Tara for reviews on the greatest DC animated universe cartoon to ever meet Gotham City. So join moi for the talk of the town, or I'll send Captain Clown after you. He gets mighty angry when he doesn't get to have his garbage skull. So put on a nice big smile and join us for the next Geekcast Radio Network podcast, Legends of the Dark Knight.
Pixels in the Animation is the next cartoon review podcast series in the Geekcast Radio Network's long history of review series. We've had Transformers, He-Man, and Mask as far as the cartoon review podcasts we have done. Now we bring in TV's Mr. Neil as he and TFG1Mike break down 9 video game cartoon series. Steve Megatron will join us for the Mega Man and Sonic episodes. We will be reviewing and analyzing every episode of the Mario, Zelda, Captain N, Mega Man, Donkey Kong, and Sonic cartoons. You can expect us to go in-depth and also talk about the game franchises that spawned these cartoons. So tune in summer 2013 as we find the pixels in the animation.
You've just listened to Geekcast Radio on the Geekcast Radio Network. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. First, visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on all of our different podcasts. Second, you can rate our show and leave us feedback in iTunes. Third, follow us on Twitter at Geekcast Radio. Fourth, become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/GeekcastRadio. Call the voicemail line 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for and your name. So until next time, unleash the geek in you.